0 sitting down here so that you guys can speed up at the end if necessary. There have been 2 exceptions. I'll call those out. We're not granting any more. 2 people asked for an extra 2 minutes, and they've been granted. You know who you are. Everyone else is strict on 5. And what we're going to be talking about here are overviews of the technological platforms upon which you can build it. It's really going to be top-line stuff because of the time constraints, so if you want to dive into it more deeply, go up and talk to the people who gave the presentation after their presentation. And then we're going to have subject matter experts come up and talk through some of the issues that the people in the field are facing and the victims of disasters are facing so you can better understand them. In between each of these talks, I'm going to top-line one of the problem definitions that we've sort of pre-canned that people can choose to work on when we get to the bar camp portion of this, or not. But we tried to put some things together so that people could at least understand sort of the issues that are out there, and like I said, you can pick them up or not. So, with that, we are going to start with my colleague, Anna Marks, an engineer at Google, software engineer, who's going to give us a quick overview on some of the platforms and products from Google. Anna, your 5 minutes begins now.
Hi, okay. So who knows if I'll use this whole 5 minutes. I just wanted to go over some really interesting possibilities. Not, there's tons of developer platforms and APIs and things at Google. I've actually lost count. I think it's over 70 at this point, APIs that we provide. So I just want to go over a few things. This is Open Data Kit is a really interesting open source application developed by a couple of people working at a fellowship at Google. And it's built on Java Rosa, which was designed for Java ME phones, but it's basically an XForms tool. So you can download this to an Android phone, and eventually they want to do other smartphones that are also Java-based. But you can use XForms, which is this awesome technology that I've never really seen anybody else use well before. But you can do lots of really cool things like control the maps and gather the GPS and send SMS messages and do all these really interesting things from within this XForms application. Basically all that the person then has to do is author an XForm, which is just an XML file, and then upload it onto a phone that already has open data kit installed. Also comes with a server that can do things like aggregate your data, validate it as it's coming in, store it in a variety of formats, including Google App Engine and a few other things, and it can do voice forms. It's all really cool and interesting stuff that takes advantage of all the capabilities that are built into things like Android phones. Okay, here's all the Google Geo APIs that I could think of that were on there, and also wanted to highlight down at the bottom Map View on Android and MapKit on the iPhone. So these are technologies that you can build on. I think I might even talk more at some other time about maps. But if you want to know anything about any of these, just go ahead and ask me. I wanted to highlight the Maps API version 3. It's right now, this is a labs product that we've produced, but it's eventually going to be, once it gets feature parity with the Google Maps API, which everybody is familiar with. You see a map on somebody's site, that's Google Map. It's probably version 2. Version 3 is designed to be, way more kick-ass, basically. Emphasis on the performance. It's targeted at both desktop and modern mobile devices, so it's highly performant. You load 2 to 3 times faster on an iPhone than version 3, and it's designed with some neat, easily change the UI based on what platform it is. Okay, KML, it's an XML-based file format used to display geographic data in a GeoBrowser, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's basically, it's got an open standard. to the Open Geospatial Consortium. There are now 500 million KML files on the web, and it's become basically the standard for geospatial data presentation. So if you're interested in developing an open geospatial presentation, I'm giving you one thing. There's Google Data APIs, really great for storing in our cloud. We've got client libraries in Java, JavaScript, .NET, PHP, Python, Google App Engine, great place to run your applications and have them replicated around the world. And I had a slide on mobile mapping. That's it. Okay.
Thank you, man. Oh, I hope it didn't lock up. It's not my machine. I don't know the password. I got it. You got it? Okay. So, this is one of those problem definitions I talked about, so I'm going to read through it very quickly, not all of it, but read through it a little bit quickly. This is the one that Craig mentioned, which is a family communications plan. And by the way, when it comes to hack time, you're welcome to grab these, take them into the rooms, put them up, mark them up, do whatever you want. So, what he was talking about was a family, friends, and loved ones disaster communications plan. That in a case where there is a disaster, and let's say dad is at work, mom's at home, and the kids are at school, and everybody gets separated, and communications are down, what happens? So create a solution which synchronizes communications across all mediums and protocols that's simple enough to use, so simple that Grandma can use it. Solutions should include things like updating all of your social networking sites. Yes, Heather?
I have a resource for you.
You do?
Yes, ready.gov has a lot of the content for it.
Ready.gov is a good resource to give you a head start on this. That's Heather Blanchard from the Department of Homeland Security. Also, updates by SMS, things like video chat, a trigger mechanism, for instance. Who decides that we're going to trigger this system? Who decides? Is it dad? Is it mom? Is it some combination thereof? Of the kids? Is it a school administrator? Something like that. Bandwidth optimized. We assume in every case when there's a disaster that bandwidth is constricted. So, maybe there's a cascading protocol. And that should also include protocols, right? So think about the problem in holistic terms. So what happens if all of the infrastructure is damaged and nobody can communicate? What happens then? There should be a predefined place, as Craig said, for people to meet, and maybe a cascading list of those. One is home, next one is school, third one is a friend's house, etc. Okay. All right. Next up, we have Nagesh from Yahoo. Is he here, Jeremy? Nagesh? Great. You have a Macintosh. Do you have a dongle? And then we're going to queue up